Hello Stampers, my name is Linda Bedinger and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Denver, Colorado. And this is my buddy Puccini, who's quite a load these days. Today, as promised, I have a video for you showing you how to make the little paper stands for cards that don't have a way of standing on their own. And so we'll just get started. I have my trimmer set up here so you can see the whole cutting surface, and I've got a piece of thick basic white 8.5 by 11, and I'm going to set this piece of paper on my trimmer at the 6-inch mark. And we're going to slice that piece of paper, and this is what's left. That's great for sentiments. And then we're going to put this at the 3-inch mark. The more accurate you are at setting this up, the easier this is to do. So I'm setting it right up at the 3-inch mark, and I'm going to score it at 3 inches. Then we're going to get 3 stands out of this piece of paper. I'm going to put this back in my trimmer, and we're going to set this at 3.5 inches. And I'm going to cut 3 pieces out of this. So at 3.5, 3.5, and one last one at 3.5. Okay, now I can set my trimmer aside, and there's our 3 pieces that we have to make our stand. So the very first thing I'm going to do is bring in my bone folder, and I'm going to fold one of these pieces of paper, and I'm going to line up this end here so it's as straight and lined up as I can possibly get it. Drag my bone folder across and burnish my score line. So we should have a pretty good little piece of paper here. All right, now what we're going to do is do some measuring and some cutting. So what we're going to do very first of all is we're going to make a mark along the bottom. You're going to open this way. The open side will be to your right. Now I'm going to make a mark right here at a 1/2 inch, and I'm going to make a mark over here at a 1/2 inch. Now I'm going to connect those two, and it's just easier to do it this way. If you make your first line and put it in, all the rest of the lines come off of this, and we'll have to erase a little bit. I'm going to make my line fairly dark because I want you to be able to see it. When you're doing this yourself, you can make this line very faint so it's easier to erase. So there's our 1/2 inch line across here. Now I'm going to measure up on this side 1 inch. And I'm going to put a mark right here on the edge of that at 1 inch. And then I'm going to mark in also on this side at 1/2 inch, right there on our line. Then I'm going to connect those 2 dots, and you can see there is our foot for our stand. Now this piece can be erased. Having extra lines on there makes me crazy, so then we're going to mark in from this side 1 inch right along that bottom line, and I'm going to mark this up here from the top. Let me look at my notes here. It looks like about 1.5 inches down from that 1 inch mark, about 1.5 inches, and we're going to pull that in. Okay, so this is 1 inch here. Now I'm going to erase this mark. Next, what we're going to do is take a roll of washi tape or any circle that works for you. Using washi tape rolls works for me. I've got a million of them hanging around. And we're going to make the circle at the top of this stand using the inside circumference of this circle. If you use the outside, it's never going to have any two the same, depending on if it's a brand new roll and it's thick, or it's almost finished and it's a skinny roll. If you use the inside circle, it'll always be the same size. Okay, now I'm going to bring this up so you can see it. You see when I put this roll on here, there's a gap right in here and a gap right in here. What I'm going to do is set this down. I'm going to bring a piece of red paper here so you can see. You can see how big my gap is there. And I'm going to keep reducing it and keep reducing it and keep reducing it until it is just a sliver on both sides. And then I'm going to draw my circle from the inside over to approximately where that line is. And there we go. So I can connect those two. And there you have the template. Now, what we're going to do is just use your snips, and we're going to cut this outline out. And in this case, I'll just cut away my pencil line so I don't have to do any more erasing. And cut this little template out as straight as you can. I suppose you could use your trimmer, but it's never seemed completely necessary to me. And so come across here and then turn and come up this line here. And again, you can get as close to that line as possible. If you can, cut away your pencil marks. The worst thing that happens is you have to erase them. So, all right. Now on this one, we're going to come around this circle and as carefully, go slow on this, and again, cut away your pencil mark, and we're going to come up around this and cut out our circle. Some of us are better at this than others. And come up, come up, come up. And there you go. There's your little stand. And when you open it up, it opens like this and stands. And then let me grab a card. Isn't this the cutest card? I got that in a swap with my group that I meet here in Denver. And if this card weren't able to stand on its own, it's now seated in our little paper stand, and it's got a place and a way to sit. Now, somebody wrote to me the other day, and I'm sorry I didn't write down the name, but she said, would it be a good idea to maybe do two of these together and make them be a little bit more sturdy? And you can sure do that. And you can also cut this out of colored paper. The more saturated the color, the heavier duty the paper will be. And if you're just doing them out of white, we've got the thick. If you're doing them out of vanilla, you might want to do 2 layers because those we don't have thick vanilla anymore. So there's your stand, and you can decorate this. You can do anything you want to match whatever your card is that you're going to put on here. That Christmas card that I did the other day, this one, is perfect for this kind of stand. Of course, I do it in vanilla because it can't stand on its own the way it's cut. So if you send that along with your card and stick it in the envelope, there your party at the other end can display your beautiful piece of work, and the card sits neatly in this little temporary stand. Okay, so there we go. And then once, what I've done with mine is I've marked this real clearly, template, and bottom. And then if I've got, like I did here, I cut a couple more pieces. So if I were to just burnish this on this score line, because once you've got your template made, then all you need to do is put your template on your card and set it up and put the faintest little line around your template like this. And there you go, you're ready to make your next little card. And I probably make up, I don't know, 5 or 6 of these at a time and stick them in a drawer in white and vanilla. And like if this one couldn't stand, I might do that in the cherry cobbler or the green, which would be kind of pretty too. So this is my project for the day, as promised, to show you how to make a simple paper stand. Then you can use this template to cut these out over and over and over again to make new stands for your cards. Well, that's it for me today. Thank you so much for stopping by my YouTube channel today. I do so appreciate it. And if you don't already have a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, well, I'd love to be your demonstrator. I'd also love to have you, if you haven't, subscribe to my channel. You can hit the subscribe button and select all, and you'll get notified every time I put up a video and never miss one. Thanks for coming again, and I'll see you soon. Bye!